Hello, Threedonia. Remember me? It's Rich. Nice to be back. Hi. Sorry I've been away. It's been busy. The job and the election. My candidate lost. Boo. But it's freaking Illinois, so what do you expect? And the family and blah, 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 blah. So, anyway. I've been gone. I'm back. It's good to be back. Hope you all have been doing well. You may have noticed we had an election recently. And I've been thinking about that. And writing about that a little bit. Let me tell you what I think this election means. It is not a total repudiation of the left. Repudiation of the left. It is rather an acknowledgement that what this extremely far left, my left, administration has done hasn't even come close to working. That doesn't mean that middle America, that part of America that's convinced, needs to be convinced, yet realizes that big government isn't the way to make life better. Far from it, in my humble opinion. I think that's a tougher road to hoe, and that's the real challenge between now and 2012. It's not enough to say, stop, these things are crazy, Nancy Pelosi is crazy and scary, and we don't want to see her face anymore, which we really don't. What the real challenge of the next 2 years is to say, we need to roll back this crap that's already happened. Because I think there's a good part of America, and again, we're talking about middle America, that part that decides elections, that thinks the government needs to do things. More people still trust Democrats more than they do Republicans. That says something. Especially that they voted so Republican this year, even though they don't trust us as much. We need to convince America that the ills and the faults of the free enterprise system are preferable to the ills and faults of big government. And that's going to be a lot more difficult to do. And just take healthcare, for example. Insurance premiums continue to rise. You and I and everybody pays more for insurance. And that's, I think, not because the insurance companies are big and bad and evil, which they undoubtedly are, but because it costs more to keep people healthy. We've got all these wonderful new technologies, and somebody's got to pay for them. People live longer than ever, and somebody's got to pay for that. And government can help mitigate those costs, but the way to mitigate those costs is by further enabling the free enterprise system to be more free, not less free. And we understand that, but I don't think most people do. So here's the great challenge for us. If Mitch McConnell and John Bonner spend the next 2 years just putting a roadblock in front of what this insane administration wants to do, we don't have much to run on in 2012 other than we've stopped the worst of it. But we really haven't done anything. We really haven't convinced anybody. We need to have the clear alternative explained. And because that argument is so much more nuanced and so much more complicated than their argument, which is, well, we're the government. Of course we're here to help you. What else are we here to do? I think that's a much tougher challenge. I don't think it's impossible. I think right now you've got a bunch of people in Congress who understand that. Rand Paul, if nobody else. But it ain't going to be easy. And I hope we can stick with it. It's easy to get excited about an election. It's a lot tougher to get excited about continuing to govern and continuing to get your message across, especially when you've got a media who is so determined not to understand your message and to demonize your message. I'm really not trying to be a cynic and not trying to be a wet blanket about this election. I think the door is open, but I also think that the road is very long and very much more difficult than a lot of people believe after the euphoria of this victory. It's a good thing, but it's just the first step. And we need to educate people. And people need to get a lot smarter. Unfortunately, in my state, I don't think that's possible. We've elected Brad Blagojevich as lieutenant governor, who used to be the bagman for Dan Walker, who was one of our many convicted governors. I can't even explain that. If you look at a map of Illinois and how everybody voted, it's like there were 3 counties who voted for Pat Quinn, the re-elected governor. East St. Louis, somewhere down by Cairo, which is the very southern tip of the state, which I don't even understand, and Cook County. And that's it. Everything else is a sea of red, but we got this son of a bitch. However, hopefully, there's hope for the rest of America. We can only pray. Anyway, that's my take. Good to be back, Threedonia. Sorry I've been gone. Hope you enjoyed this particular way of delivering my particular take. And don't mind the beard. It's the weekend, and I never shave on the weekend unless there's something special going on, which there's not. I will be talking to you soon, and stay cool.